Hey, what's up everybody, this is respec and today I'm going to be going over some of the Fallout 76 patch notes for December 11th, 2018. Now this patch is currently only out for PC. It will be coming to consoles on December 13th, so in 2 days. But the patch is 5 gigs for consoles and 3 gigs for PC. Now, these patch notes are absolutely ridiculously long, as you can see here scrolling through this, and this would take me like 30 or more minutes to read all of this and give my opinion on some of it. So I'm not going to go over a lot of this because so much of this is absolutely the most minute details. And I think that is definitely good for patch notes for players to be able to go and read this in their own time and read what they want to read and see all the specifics, because they weren't doing that with patches before. So I think that's probably why they're doing it with all the most minute things, because people wanted all the information, so they're giving it hopefully all to us, because there are a ton of stuff here, but I'm just going to go over some of the bigger things. So let's get right into it. So basically the highlights, the camp construction improvements, which is basically small objects will be removed when you try to build on top of them. So trees, logs, rocks, stuff like that. That's a pretty good change for building. Camp placement improvements. So this basically, when you log into a world, and usually if someone had built, say, your camp spot, your camp wouldn't be there, you'd have to replace it somewhere. Now if you go into a world, it'll give you a warning that you've gone into a world where someone is taking that spot, so your camp won't be there. You can either replace it for free like normally, or you can go to a new world and just, I guess, keep switching worlds so you find one where someone isn't building there and your camp will be there like it normally was. Pretty big change. Super nice not having to constantly replace your camps. Even if you're playing the game some, you don't want to replace your camp, so you just don't replace it until you switch servers and don't have to replace it. Special respecking. Upon reaching level 50, every level after that will basically give you a chance to either pick a perk card like normal or reallocate one of your special points, which is a super big increase everyone want respecking. This is also, I think, a very good way they done this, so you don't just like respec whenever you want and respec everything. You have to make a choice to either get a new perk card, which I don't think you get every perk card at the ranks you want until probably like level 200 if you want every perk card, or after that maybe. It's ridiculous. But now you have a choice. Either you can respec a special for every level or do a new perk card. Very nice change. I like the way they actually did the respecking system. Push to talk. You're able to have push to talk on PC. Sorely needed. I'm glad it's finally in the game, because now a lot more people are going to have voice chat on, so you don't have to hear the stuff happening in everyone's background, because push to talk is a just basic feature in pretty much most PC games. Every PC game now basically that has voice chat in it. New PC settings, field of view and depth of field sliders, massive increases. Field of view, sorely needed. Depth of field is also a very good customization option in settings for PC games. 21:9 support, which is ultra wide monitor support. That's pretty much all it is, supporting ultra wide monitors. Just a good change. General performance, some improvements have been made to in-game performance. So this is actual in-game performance. I don't think they had one of this last patch. They have stability for increasing client stability and like server improvement, stuff like that. But in-game performance is basically your FPS, stuttering, different things like that. So hopefully we'll see a big FPS increase. I might do a video if I can kind of figure out what the FPS increases have been. It's pretty hard to do that unless you did basically benchmarks before and after the patch with the same PC. Since there's so many different PC parts and stuff, different PCs are going to get different performance increases compared to other ones. Now this one I think is just overall, so Xboxes and PS4s are probably going to get basically across them the same performance increases. PC it's a bit different. Lighting, basically it makes the game brighter in different dark conditions. Very good, because some different dark conditions in the game in certain areas would be pitch black, pretty much even with like your Pip-Boy light on. So there's some balance changes. 308 rounds, you get less 308 rounds per kill. Basically, I don't think anyone has an issue with this, probably. I don't know anybody who's had an issue keeping 308 rounds. Less rounds. If they keep doing changes like this, they could definitely make the game feel more survival-ish, because right now, like, ammo isn't that big of a deal unless you're using one specific type of weapon that takes like a rare ammo. But besides that, you always have ammo to fire. Super mutants will not drop gunpowder half as often. I don't think that's an issue unless you did the like lead farm to have lead forever, or the lead glitch. How much gunpowder you get from super mutants before I did any of the glitches, like I was throwing away thousands of it, because you don't have the other materials you need in even slightly the same amount of quantity to constantly make ammo. So it's not that big of a deal unless you were doing glitches before. And the chance for additional loot has been reduced. Caps are guaranteed loot on super mutants until level 16. I don't really know what they're reducing loot on these, so I can't really say much about that. Caps until 16. I'm wondering if that's going to be a caps farm to just make new characters, have like a lower level weapon that you fully modded out and give it to your low level character, then go farm super mutants till 16, delete that character after you spent the caps, or trade the caps away, I guess. That could be something. Scorched Beast Queen will now land to the ground more often. The one that I fought didn't have an issue with landing. Other Scorched Beasts definitely do, so I'm wondering if this will affect other Scorched Beasts as well. But I guess it's a good change. The Scorched Beast Queen, maybe this happened with other people's like fight of it, because I know some people have fought it and not been able to kill it. That could be an issue, because when it comes on the ground, it does a lot less damage, and you will do a lot more damage to it because people hitting with melee, grenades, explosives, stuff like that. Workshops, players no longer gain XP in crafting a public workshop. I don't know if that was an issue before. The XP never seemed anything but pretty much negligible to me, unless you were super low level. So I don't know if there were some crazy XP farms for workshops. It doesn't seem like that big of a change to me. This is just going over basically the more specifics in the camp. So it shows a GIF here. Basically, if you try to place something over like trees or stuff, it'll go away and show you it's going away. Once you place it, it'll go away. If you remove the thing, the trees, like the stuff that got removed, will come back over time, or just relogging, it'll come back. That's basically all it's saying here. New camp placement improvements. This is basically just going over what I went over with if you join a server and your camp spot is taken, you can switch to a different server to get it back. You don't have to replace it. Additional camp and crafting and workshop updates. The percentage of camp budget that is taken by blueprints will now appear in the budget bar. Pretty nice, just more information. Just some more basic changes, nothing too crazy, but stuff you can come and read if you want to. Like I said, I don't want to be reading all these patch notes. It'll take 30-40 minutes, and we don't want to go through that. So it's just basically telling you whatever with the respec. This basically tells you exactly how it works, which I basically already went over fully. There's some event quest changes. A 15-minute cooldown timer has been added to the end of each Enclave event quest. I don't know what that exactly means. I know there's like the event quest at the Fort of Defiance. I'm wondering if it's like those. Then it reduced event quest XP for a bunch of event quests. And it says that the cooldown timer has been increased from 48 minutes to 1 hour and 12 minutes. This exact same patch note was in one of the beta patch notes, so I'm wondering if that was changed actually when they had the patch note for it, or if it wasn't changed, or if they're just showing us now to have more information that's actually what it is. I don't exactly know. I don't know anybody who really, I mean, I guess if you're farming some of these, but I think it's only on a single server, because like you could switch servers and do the same event like 5 minutes after, depending on how fast you switch servers. So I don't exactly know what that is actually about. That I guess require more testing. It's just telling you basically here the push to talk. It's set to caps lock. Toggle always run is removed from caps lock and switch to another key, and then you're able to change it anytime you want. That field slider. FOV is changed in increments of 5 and is maximum 120, minimum of 70, which is a very good range of FOV. Much more common in games now. A lot of games actually don't have up to 120. I think it's up to 110 or 100 in some games. There are quite a few AAA bigger games now that do the same thing, 70 and 120, so that's a pretty good change. 21:9 support, just 21:9 support, nothing else there. Some changes to AFK timers, to atomic shop displays and subtitles. A change to how much stuff you can actually have on your map at once, which I don't think is that big of an issue, because usually everyone I know would like untrack everything they possibly could on the maps because it's so cluttered. Basically right here is tons of stutter and performance issues. I have read over these quite a bit. Basically these are all performance issues, which these are super important. I'm just not going to read over all of them. Basically it's stuttering issues, it's performance issues, and stuff like that, which is super good. Basically bug fixes and performance increases. Always wanted what the game is very much needing right now. Some achievements which are for console players that weren't properly awarding you with the achievements. A bunch of animation fixes, graphic fixes, stuff like that. That's basically all it is. Even weapon graphical glitches when inspecting them. Just tons of like fixes for graphics and different stuff like that. The flamethrower glitch where it showed like some random hexagon in the fire has been fixed. Camp workshop and crafting. This is all just like placement stuff and more fixes, with some balance changes. Like here, after powering up a power plant, power boxes now grant 400 power, and power boxes surrounding workshops produce 100 power. So just some other changes. Not going to read through all this stuff. A lot of it is more in minute details. Some enemy like balance changes, stuff like that. Honeybees drop 1 to 2 adhesive instead of dropping more. A pretty big change. Murloc Queen. The Murloc Queen's acid attack no longer deals more damage than intended. If you ever fought one of these, basically if you got hit by one of their acid attacks, it would almost fully kill you if you didn't stim back or heal in some way. It would almost kill you over time. It was absolutely ridiculous and super hard to see. The Scorched Beast in the glass cavern can no longer fly through the walls, which would happen sometimes. It was absolutely ridiculous and just looked ridiculous. Pretty big bug there that they changed. Just a ton more like bug fixes and small fixes, stuff like that. A bunch of quest fixes. There is a lot more bug fixes in these patch notes, and in this patch than I thought there would be. This is massive amounts of bug fixes, which is sorely needed, and it's very good that they're going along this route of just fixing tons and tons of stuff. Perks here, a bunch of perks have been fixed and changed. Specifically, 2 perks that have been fixed are the weapon and armor repairing, which you could repair depending on what rank of the perk you had, your armor and weapons, over like the maximum durability, so 30, 60, 90% I'm pretty sure. But with both those, if you got hit once with armor or used a weapon once or a few times, that extra repair durability would just go away. So the perks were completely useless basically. So now they're fixed, which is super nice. Just some other perks, some other changes and glitches like shotgun perks increasing the damage of a grenade launcher. Just some more fixes there. Some more fixes for PvP and stuff like that. That's not really a big deal. Most people don't PvP in this game anyway. A bunch of social fixes and changes for your like friends list and stuff like that. Some sound fixes. Then some interface fixes basically to tie it all off. There are a ton of these. I'm not going to read through these. If you guys want to read through the specifics of all of these, just go read the patch notes on Bethesda.net. They post on their Twitter. You can even read it on the launcher by just clicking on the version up here. It's much smaller, so I'd recommend going on the website. But that's basically all the changes. Massive changes. A very good way for them to be going to fixing this much stuff, giving us all the information, hopefully all the information in these patch notes. But I hope they keep going along this route, especially if the next patch is coming next week. So anyways, subscribe if you want to see more Fallout 76 content, more videos on other games such as Atlas that's coming out soon. Leave a comment down below what you think about these patch notes. Like the video if you like it, and thanks for watching.